Hey everyone, I'm Michael Buffington, and this is Technical Earth Syndicate Episode 3. How you guys doing?
Great.
Doing great.
Awesome. So today should be a pretty interesting show. We have world's first quantum network. Kind of goes in with our last topic last week, right, Alan?
Oh yeah, of course, right on the heels.
All right, and then we got a future of gaming topic, and then we also have the rumor. Apparently, it's a rumor. Just earlier this week was Apple's new console. Apparently, there's some more information about that. We'll go over, but should be a very very interesting show.
We've also got a few game reviews coming up as well near the end of the show.
Yeah, should be.
I can't wait to talk about those. It'll be fun.
All right, Alan. Let's go ahead and dive into your topic. The world's first quantum network recently
Yeah,
got done, right?
yeah. Like last week, we talked about how they had stuck a quantum computer into a diamond, and had gotten very very good results with stability. Well, this week, on the 12th to be exact, they some scientists designed a network.
There you go.
Designed a network using two electrons, and they'd hit these electrons with a laser, and the laser would then split a proton off of those electrons, and the proton would travel down a 60-meter fiber optic cable, hit another electron, and transfer all the information from that first electron to the second electron,
Huh.
basically cloning it.
Huh.
The coolest thing about this is it doesn't require any. You don't have to encode the bits onto the line, which is a very very deep and horribly hard process when you're looking at networks and such. But you don't have to encode it. All you have to do is shoot a laser at an electron, and you have a proton fly off.
Wow.
It's really cool.
Huh.
It is very interesting, but explain it to someone like me who doesn't know anything about quantum networking or any of that. What is this going to mean for computing in the future?
What it really means is that now we have another piece of the puzzle. Our home computer is actually multiple pieces, right? We have the all kinds of different pieces of hardware: network, hard drive, RAM, processor. We have all those pieces. They all work together to create one big overall experience. Well, we haven't had a network part on a quantum computer yet. No one's really done it yet. This is the first people who have done it. They have actually created at least an experiment that shows it is possible to create a network using electrons and protons. So that paves the way for a quantum system,
Wow.
a fully functional quantum system.
That is cool stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
awesome.
That'd be-
What
maybe in 30 years, not 40, we'll have one in our homes.
That'd be
Oh,
great.
right?
Very great.
Act the government. in 5 minutes. Use your homemade quantum computer inside a diamond. That'll last forever, because diamonds are forever.
And those and those who didn't catch the last show, you might want to. There was a good piece on quantum computing on episode 2, so you should definitely check out that one. Is there any more information on that, Alan, or is that just pretty much summing up the
That
article?
pretty much sums up what the article was about. It gets very technical, but
Now,
if you want to learn more about that, you can always look it up on Google. It's a fairly cutting edge of computer science type field. So
now, where did you find that article on?
that was on Time, Time
Okay.
Tech, yeah, which is a really good place for tech articles of highly technical nature.
Okay, and that's what's the website like altogether?
www.techland.time.com.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all you guys can check out that if you want to be interested in a little bit. Maybe Alan can post that on his Twitter feed, and you can follow him and see some of the posts he posts on that.
Yep.
We'll be announcing that at the end of the show as well. All right. I wanted to go into a pretty good discussion with you guys, if you wouldn't mind. It's a lot of people are discussing this right now. I mean, a lot of gamers, mostly just gamers, but the future of gaming. Where is it headed? Where is it heading? And especially with a lot of these companies coming out and saying that their next console is going to be diskless and purely just digital content, kind of like what we're doing on Steam right now on a PC. But a lot of people are backlashing, saying they're not wanting they're not wanting these consoles to do that. They're wanting physical copies and all this other stuff. How do you guys feel about that for the most part? I mean, do you guys feel like that the companies are really cutting out everyone else with not letting us buy disc? I mean, because we all game on Steam, correct?
Yeah.
And
Primarily.
we're all kind of used to buying a game on there, a digital game, and not actually owning a copy in our hands, of course. But I'm used to it, so I don't really have too many issues with it. But I mean, like, what's your guys' opinions on it?
Well, there are definitely a lot of people who still would prefer the physical disc, to keep on the shelf or whatever, and lending the game to friends if they want
Right.
to do that as well. I actually read in the latest Game Informer that there's a lot of discussion about that as well. That the whole discless console thing is pretty much probably not going to happen for quite a bit. So I don't think
But
we really have to worry about that.
but a lot of these companies are talking about knocking out the middleman, which is like GameStop and
Right.
Best Buy and all the others companies that want to buy used games and stuff like that. It's basically turning into the PC industry with gaming, because you can still buy a PC game on the shelf, right? You can
Right.
still buy Left 4 Dead 2 on the shelf. You can still buy, Battlefield 3 on the shelf. But once you enter that code from that disc, and this has been on PC for how many years? I mean, like almost close to 10 years
Fallout
that
3
we've
forced me to do it, I
yeah
believe.
we've had CD keys for almost 10 years now that have kept us from giving that game to somebody or whatever. Now games for Windows, I know they let you deactivate keys, and I can give you let's see, a copy of Tron on games for Windows. I can give you that copy if I deactivate it from my account. Now they're going that route, but that's not really been working too well. But that's what we're kind of leading into with consoles, and it's worrisome for most people. I'm not too worried about it because I don't hold material possessions like that to heart. What's going to happen to you own a car, right? Well, that car gets crashed into and it gets totaled, right? It's gone. You don't own it anymore. If that happens with my game collection, where the servers go offline, or let's say Steam completely, I don't think this will happen, but let's just see Steam completely goes bankrupt and they get rid of their company. What happens to all our digital sales? A lot of people worry about that. I don't worry about that, just like I don't worry about if I got in a car wreck and my car is gone. You'd have to buy a new one, right?
Right.
But I mean, a lot of people are very worried about where console gaming's heading, and it's gonna end up just coming into factor that we're gonna be all PC gamers, with a controller in a hand on the TV, which is pretty much the same. But
Yeah. It's understandable though that they're concerned about everything going completely digital and, say the servers do go down and you lose all your stuff, you
right,
put a lot of money. I know we put hundreds and hundreds of dollars into Steam buying all our
But
games.
the other side
And
of that is look at the multiplayer servers. They're going down every day.
right,
I mean, we just heard about Demon Souls, I believe it was,
yeah. Demon
servers
Souls
going
just went
down.
down.
Their multiplayer servers going down. That game isn't old at all. I mean, what, 2 years, 3 years, maybe?
2009 it came out. Yeah,
Yeah, their servers are going away. So I mean, yeah, you can play the single player campaign, but the whole point of that game was the interaction of the little hints and stuff along the way. But
right,
you,
and it
you
had
know,
it had PvP and stuff like that too.
yeah,
But they are taking that away. But
well,
it
the
is
thing
kind of
with them closing down the servers, like a lot of it is, people aren't on them as much anymore. Like,
exactly.
Diablo 2's been up for years and they continue to update it because people are on there, all the time. Like, a lot of the sports games are going down because, people are upgrading to new games and they're on to different servers. Same with Demon Souls. They're upgrading to Dark Souls and they're
hmm
probably playing that a lot more. So they don't really need to
right.
keep up the cost of having their
servers.
Demon Soul server up.
Yeah. But I mean, then you also got to look at it from the other point of view of they're companies. These game developers, they are companies, and we live
Right.
in a capitalist economy.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about money. It's not about making everybody happy. I'm
Yeah, and
sorry
that's why
that
it's
people know
understandable
this, but
that they would want to, cut out the physical discs and,
mm-hmm.
kind of put GameStop out of business, as it were, because,
Because all
they don't
those
make any
games.
money off of the used games. And
Mm-hmm.
that's completely understandable. But there are definitely people who would still want to hang on to the physical disc and, keep up with that.
The things I worry about with cutting out the middleman, which I am glad we're getting away from used game sales because it will benefit the developers and getting a lot more money. Maybe it may cut back a lot of their ridiculous DLC prices they charge us,
It's possible.
And but the only thing I worry about with GameStop is there's a lot of employees of GameStop that will be losing their jobs when this happens.
Yeah, but I
But there
mean,
will be the core, like the GameStop can still sell, CD key codes or whatever, like they were talking about. I think with the PlayStation, they might be doing like a Blu-ray disc, but once you activate the code, it's you can still install it as many times as you want,
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the case right there. But there's worrisome, there's repercussions that go on with this. But overall, I think it will be a good future for gaming as long as these companies stay solid and don't fail. If they fail, we're gonna get dicked out of money,
Yeah, there is on a side note, there is a company, I believe it has something to do with a frog in its name, that actually allows you to buy CD keys from them, play a game, and then sell the CD keys back. It doesn't work for every game, of course, because some games have things that lock it into a profile or something.
Right.
But it works for a lot of games, and so you can sell back that CD key to them for credit and buy another game.
That's a very small minority, though. I mean, because
Yeah.
Steam and Origin right now are running the show for more Steam than Origin, of course, but Origin still has a lot of users. It's just they're running the online market for gaming for PC, and like for PC, it's a big thing. It's like I want to say Steam. I'm throwing out a number that's probably not fake, but I want to say they run about 80% of the market, for
Right.
PC sales. There's still like the rest of them that want, I want a physical game without CD keys or, was it DRM on there? They don't want that, a lot of the people. But that's a minority of people that want that. Everyone else kind of is just accepting as things go on like we are. It's like, why fight it when you can't really do anything about it? It sucks, but whatever,
And sometimes to do the things you want to do, you got to put up with things you don't like.
Exactly.
You don't like peanut butter? I'm sorry. All I got is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yep.
That is one way of putting it, I suppose.
Peanut butter and jelly economics.
And when we're talking about DLC with the digital content as well, right now, actually for the past, how long have the console's been out? Almost 6 years now. For the past 6 years, DLC has been running the show, and everyone is griping about it, but yet they're still buying it, and I don't get that, it's like you're giving in, but why bitch about what's already there and what you can't stop. It's like when Steam first came out, everyone was up in arms about how this is horrible and it's going to go down. And I said the same thing about Origin when it came out, but sure as shit, I'm using it.
You bit the bullet.
I'm using it to play Battlefield and Crisis 2 and, a couple other games. And there's nothing I can do about it, so, it's whatever,
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm being a sheep and following the herd. I am just having fun and doing whatever. And if you don't do that, then you might as well say, okay, well, I'll just give it up. All these people griping about the console saying, well, that looks like I'm never going to game again. They are. They're not going to give it up.
Right after they write that, 2 minutes later, they're on a game playing it.
Yeah,
having the time of their life. And you got to put up with the bad to get the good. I mean, it's just the way the world works.
And a lot of it depends on, their friends are probably playing. Like I said, how many Call of Duties has it been since I said I'm not buying any more Call of Duties? I've bought pretty much every single one because I play with you guys,
Yeah, exactly. I always get roped into buying them too. It's the same thing. No, man, it's awesome. You should play it. Fine, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Mike, this is the same thing.
I hate myself. It's okay. But
Still have a good time though.
it's a fun game, just like people gripe about Battlefield and everyone gripes about whatever. It's just whatever you have fun with, just go with it, man. You know, like hey, there's Nancy Drew games on Steam. I don't know if I would ever play them, but if I was forced to, I'd play them. No,
I'm gonna buy all of them.
all right. That's a shout out for Nancy Drew. You guys, you know,
So next
go ahead
week
and
we'll
buy
have a
it.
review of Nancy Drew games, right? Look forward to that.
I'm
Well,
devoting an entire show to Nancy Drew reviews.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. I'll make sure I go camping that day.
But I mean, let's face it, as us as gamers, there's two types of gamers. Actually, there's probably multiple types of gamers, but I'll go over two. There's the negative, I hate everything, and I only like certain things, and then there's the open ones that I've recently turned into that I think is a better way of thinking when you're dealing with stuff. I mean, you can still dislike stuff and everything, but you still got to give people props for, you know, if you like to play it, then cool, that's on you. But you don't sit there and try to ridicule the next person saying, "Oh, you shouldn't play that. It's dumb." You know, it's just it's everlasting battle. I think the human race has a huge problem with everything.
Yep.
I mean,
you
look
always
at
find someone doesn't like something. I mean, you
look
can't
at
never win.
Apple versus Google or Apple versus Microsoft or all these companies fighting back and forth and all their fans going, well, Apple stuff is better and Android stuff is better, and we're all guilty of it, all of us. and you just
Mike,
kind of
over
have to
to the dark
open.
side. I have an iPhone now.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it really doesn't matter what you like and everything, and that's kind of what's going to come down to when we get our digital consoles or whatever. I'm more or less sticking with PC gaming, but if there's stuff on the digital consoles that's awesome, I may pick up one. Like who knows? And
Yep.
I'm not going to kick and scream my way into it like I usually did back in a couple of years ago. No, I don't wanna. Okay, I like you now.
You're a nice console.
I did that with Battlefield, and I feel silly now. I do. I really do feel silly about that. But it's whatever.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, we'll all learn. So, did you guys have any more to add with it? Any more information that you might want to add?
No, I'm pretty much good on that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, basically, people, you don't have to follow our views, of course. I mean, that'd be exactly, try not to do, So, you have your own views and everything like that. If you don't like the consoles, that's cool, but just trying to open your mind up a little bit that, it may be not as bad as you think it is, especially since this is coming from someone that's had to deal with this for the past 5 years now with Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guilty of downloading, games on my Xbox and PlayStation, and they're full games too, So it really doesn't matter. If you lose out on those copies one day, it will stink. But I mean,
Honestly, you're not going to play them for that long. I mean,
right?
Look at your own track record, Mike. I mean, look.
Yeah.
How many games have you got right now? 200 something, probably.
I don't know.
And how many of those have you actually played more than, say, 30 hours?
Not many.
Yeah,
so well, look at VHS tapes.
Exactly.
Do any of you own one?
Actually, I do. There's a whole cabinet full of them.
When's the last time you put one in?
I have 2 VCRs in the house, and they never get used.
When's the last time it was used?
Probably 8 years ago.
See, I think more or less people are basing everything on like collector value and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of past that. That's like it's borderlines of hoarding stuff, but it's all good. Mm-hmm. Anyways, okay.
So Tim Cook was at Valve, huh?
Yeah, that's interesting. And also, Apple, a rumor of Apple is creating a gaming console. Could the connection be, with Valve? Maybe. Maybe.
Well,
no,
the thing is, when I read about that stuff, from what I took from it was that they were coming out with some kind of TV that had touch sensitive controls and might have a gaming component in with it.
Well,
that's what I got from it.
Yeah, they were talking about Apple had a written prototype or something of like kind of like a Connect device on the Apple TV with Siri, and you could control your TV like that. And they were saying something about gaming with it, but it wasn't very detailed. There was a lot of people making up some ridiculous rumors about it. And thing is, with Apple guys, you really don't know what they're up to sometimes unless something
The
really
rumors
gets
come from
officially
there.
leaked. Until you get an actual source of them saying, "Hey, this is what we're doing," you really can't go off anything. It's just like
Nope.
people saying, "Oh, Half-Life 3 is going to be released like tomorrow." No,
Every
that's a
time
lie.
Valve makes an announcement, or said they're going to make an announcement in the next couple of days, someone always calls up, it's 3, it's Half-Life 3.
It ends up being
okay,
Portal
sure.
2 or something else or yeah.
Yeah, what was that game they just came out with everybody thought was Half-Life 3?
Portal 2 did it.
Yeah, but there was another game too. It was
Yeah.
that tactical shooter game, kind of like Team Fortress 2.
I'm not sure.
Eh, it'll
I
come
don't
to
know.
us later.
But yeah, there was talk of a Steam box or some sort of Steam console
Right.
a little while back. So maybe Apple and Valve are kind of collaborating on that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Well, the rumor of Tim Cook actually visiting the headquarters of Valve is pretty interesting. Now, it could mean that they're wanting to open up more support on the Mac's OS. I mean, Valve's already open arms of Mac right now. I mean, what was it? 2 years ago, they opened the doors to Mac gaming on Steam, which was
Yeah.
an awesome move because I mean, you can play Left 4 Dead, all the Half Lives on there, and
Almost all the Mac games are in one place now.
and they have a lot of those a lot of indie games on Steam now. Among some new ones, like Assassin's Creed is on there. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and you can actually get the Steam client on your, iOS devices now on the iPhone and
Oh,
iPad.
the little chat device, and you
Yeah,
can
but
Yeah.
you know, another idea. This could be maybe they're gonna start trying to make it to where you can stream your Steam games on your iPad or something.
See,
Oh, that would be
that's what I
amazing.
was thinking. Maybe when they're developing this new Apple TV, not the little box, the actual TV set, that maybe they're partnering up with Steam. Now, I'm just talking out of my ass right now because we really don't know. This is how rumors get started, so no
Yeah.
one listen to us. No,
We're just hoping and praying.
this could be a possibility that's been brought up many times over the internet, and of course, it's just we want something doesn't mean we're going to get it. It's just cool to talk about sometimes. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a good possibility if Apple actually partners up with Valve. I mean, it's not going to take away anything from PC game. It's just giving access to some of their devices, maybe.
Right.
And
Tell you.
and before anybody says, "Oh, that Apple console or whatever is going to be ridiculous priced," it might be, it might not be. At least it has good quality in it, but I mean, it just who knows? Who knows? It could fail horribly, and Gabe Newell will be like, "Why the hell did I do that?" But I mean, we'll see how everything goes on this next year. I mean, we'll probably get reports, and then next few months, what's going on if Tim Cook really did visit Valve, or I mean, the
Well,
sources are pretty correct on it. Like
yeah,
everything's pretty
he
correct.
visited him. He visited him. They got pictures of him going in the door. But
Yeah, he was actually there
if
because
he
what
was
they were
just there
talking
to,
about.
to check
Okay.
out
See, that's creepy.
how the VIP restrooms looked, I mean that's a different story.
Right.
But if they do come out with a console, just judging from the amount of money I've spent on Steam in the last couple years, we're all three going broke.
I think it would be cool if they did a console if they did it right. Now they better it kind of be like you remember? Do you guys remember that Alienware console? Not console lookalike thing. It was a PC, but you could hook it up to your TV. It was shaped like kind of an Xbox. It just recently came out. I forgot what it's called. It was the
No.
Alienware. Everything was compact, but you could actually customize and take out the video cards and put in new CPU if you wanted to later on. But it was a device that was devoted for your TV, and you could hook up a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse up to and just game on your couch, which that's pretty cool. I mean, if you're
Yeah,
comfortable with
good
that.
idea.
Yeah.
It's hard to type on the
So,
couch.
what if they did something like that with Steam? With Valve. What
Yeah,
if
I
Valve
mean,
did that?
that's what they'd have to do. I mean, just look at it this way: Valve is computer PC gaming 9 times out of 10. The things they put on consoles, I want to say mostly are ports, but I don't quote me on that.
Right.
So if they do a console, it's going to have to be more PC than anything close to a console, even though consoles are just dumbed down PCs. But it will be more of a PC than a console.
Right.
It'll have to be.
Now, Steam came out, or I believe Steam came out and said, or it could be a rumor. I think they were saying they were working on, or in, prototype mode of a wearable computer, and everybody's been talking about this. I mean, we got Google goggles right now, or prototype, whatever it is. We got Apple saying something about a wearable computer too, and I mean, that could be down to a watch, a custom watch. Like, did you guys see that fan art with that Nano with it looked like a watch? It was pretty.
No, I
Well,
didn't see
actually, there
that.
was an Apple Watch, I thought, or there is one. It's really, really expensive, and all it really does is
Uh,
connect to your iPhone
I
or
think that
iPad.
might be a custom
It
custom
might,
thing.
yeah.
It's not sold on their site, if anything. But
Maybe
yeah,
it was just fan
there's.
art.
I mean, who knows what's going on? But everyone's talking about wearable computers, and if Valve dipped into that, holy crap!
I'm hoping for something like
Yeah.
Scouter from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, yeah. You can just
I'm
see the jokes. Everybody's walking around. Every nerd in the world walking around. It's over 9,000.
I'm thinking it's going to be more or less like a portable HUD for your vision, or a kind of
Yeah.
not really a virtual reality. Kind of, you guys saw that Google goggles video, right? Where it was like kind of given a what they were trying to go for, and you could talk to people on there and stuff like that. What if you could do that and also game? That's the new way of
Yeah.
Yeah,
gaming,
something like that.
But
That concept video would be pretty cool.
right?
I see gaming. You walk around, and the aliens are placed on the HUD, like in the real life, and like you're shooting aliens as you're walking around, and you walk in the middle of the street, and you get hit by a car. That's what I see. You're staring at the car as it's coming towards you. Die,
Or worse,
alien,
somebody's trying
die!
to play while they're driving.
Oh, good
Yeah,
God,
exactly.
that's gonna happen, man.
They're playing
Maybe they shouldn't come out with this after all.
F-Zero or something.
I don't know. It sounds all ridiculous and pretty far away from the future and freaking bizarre as hell, but it might happen.
Hmm. I still
um,
say he might have just been getting ideas for the VIP bathroom at Apple.
Oh, we don't know. E3 is coming up pretty soon, so maybe even as soon as then they'll announce something.
when is that? In July?
Something like that.
June?
Pretty
No,
soon.
I think it's June. Maybe May. I don't know. Whatever.
I can never keep track of the dates. It just appears. I'm like, yay!
E3, what disappointments can behold? Oh man, what are you guys doing? The Wii U? What the hell is that? That's what I said last year.
One controller? One controller with a screen? I want 3.
Another Call of Duty? Oh, I'm gonna get it.
If it has zombies, I'm probably getting it too.
If
Yeah.
y'all two get it, I'll probably get it just to be along with the pack.
There's that sigh again. It's not healthy for us to do that.
Probably not. Probably too much oxygen to the brain or something. Kills
All right,
brains.
well, let's see. I want to talk about I'm going to review kind of a review right now. I haven't beat it yet. I just picked up Fez this week on Xbox Live Arcade. It's really cool. A lot of people were talking smack about it because the developer came out against what Japanese RPGs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
said
was.
something-
He was at some convention. I don't remember which, and there was a Japanese game developer there, and he asked them, what do you think of Japanese games nowadays? And he basically came out and said, verbatim, your games just suck, and he got a lot of backlash for that,
Yeah.
which he's not entirely wrong, but
But it's his own opinion, and he's
Yeah.
allowed to have one. I'm sorry, don't knock the game because he's
Yeah.
crazy.
His game shouldn't be crucified because he made an opinion. I mean, Notch from Minecraft makes really crazy opinions, and yet he's glorified all over the place. I mean, so it really makes no difference what some of these developers say. If their game's cool, there's a lot of people that put time and effort into that in developing it. If it looks fun, play it, man. But so far, Fez has been really fun. It's an adventure game. It's a puzzle game. It kind of reminds me of Braid a little bit, but more or less just weird. It's like you're on drugs, man. No, no, because you get to alter reality. Like it's a 2D plane, and then all of a sudden you get to flip it in 3D and turn it to the next side, and you'll get a different look about like the side of that building or whatever on a square. And you collect these little orbs, these little cubes. My bad. These little cubes, and you gather. These little cubes combine into a big cube, and that opens up different doors later on. And there's little secrets and hidden puzzles and passwords and all this other stuff. And the story's there really is no story except this gigantic cube exploded and it altered dimensions, and now you have to go you have to go get all these little bits of cubes and put them back together, and that's all I've gotten out of it so far. I've played it for a good 4 hours, somewhere around there. I stopped playing because there are some issues right now.
Yeah, I've
uh
read that it's pretty buggy right now.
there's some pretty bad bugs, and they are working on those like right as we speak. Like they're going
Wow.
hardcore into it, because some people are actually losing their save file. It's corrupting, or like my buddy, his Xbox crashed or something. The game crashed and it crashed his Xbox, and he had to backtrack 4 or 5 hours, and
Hmm.
that's why I kind of stopped playing right now. And I'll give a final review maybe in a video or something later on our YouTube, but it is a fun game. I do recommend picking it up. I do know they're fixing it, and I would just kind of keep tabs on it, you know. So,
Yeah.
but that's all I got. It's 800 Microsoft points right now. I did hear maybe a rumor of it coming out on PC, maybe Steam, possibly. I do see that
See,
happening. You
I'd
know,
get it if it came out on Steam.
right?
I don't really have any interest to boot up the Xbox right now.
Yeah.
Hasn't been booted up in a year, probably.
Damn you, PC gamer!
I know, right? I'm a horrible person.
I didn't
Anyways,
even know
okay.
you had an Xbox.
Exactly, see?
I think the last game we played was Halo Reach or something.
Yeah, probably. That or ODST.
Oh man, that's forever ago.
I know, man.
That's like 2 years ago.
I think the last thing I played on it was Darksiders, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, Alan, you said you want to talk about a game too.
Yeah, Legend of Grimrock. I just picked that up the other day. It's like if Baldur's Gate, Skyrim, and Myst all somehow had a baby together.
Giggity.
It's an amazing game. It's 3D. It's a dungeon crawler. I want to say it's a lot like a thief like type thing, but it is first person. You're a party of four. You're all on one square together. The game is made up of squares, so you use the arrow keys, or well WSAD, to move forward, back, left, right. You actually also use you also can turn side to side to orient yourself better. You can look around with right click. You fight monsters and other things, and it's just a big puzzle game. Really amazing. Build your own party from 3 different classes and like 4 different races. I want to say
Hmm.
you have like you can be like a minotaur, a human, insectoid, or a lizard man.
Hmm.
Lizard man.
Now, now is there a certain amount of turns you can do on the game? Like, because you said there's squares, so I'm thinking maybe you could only
No,
move
it's
a certain
not
amount of
strategy.
squares.
It's
Okay.
like real time. It's like it's full on real time. You just go, but there's a little bit of strategy involved because you have to like move to dodge creatures because they can only attack like in front of themselves.
Hmm. Right.
Sometimes I fought an ogre one time who could turn 180 and smack you in the face with a hammer.
Wow.
But
So,
yeah, he just moved around.
if you
and
like a
stuff.
challenge, it's
Oh,
pretty worthwhile, right?
yeah, it is a big challenge. I mean, I have yet to get to play Dark Souls. I admit it. I'm sorry, but I imagine this game is right up there with the difficulty level because like I was playing it today and I died 5 or 6 times in the matter of an hour and a half.
Yeah, you
Well,
clearly haven't played Dark Souls.
Well, see, Dark Souls will actually make you want to throw your controller, or actually, when it comes to PC, like you said on the last show, put your fist through the monitor. It's like,
But
I
yeah.
just spent 2 hours getting all those souls and I fucking died.
Well, this one has a pretty good auto save system. You can save whenever you want. So after you find the key you've been trying to get for the last hour and a half, you can do a hard save, and then if you die, you'll start back over where you hard saved. But I
Right.
mean, eh,
Now,
you're
what's that game priced at right now?
well, it's $14.99 on Steam,
Right.
and I highly recommend getting it. I mean, it's only $15 and well worth it. Personally, I think it was the best buy I've made in quite a while.
Now you haven't beat it, so how many hours into it are you right now?
I have no clue off the top of my head. I know I'm like on the 6th or 7th level, with no idea how to leave the 7th level, and no idea how much longer it's going to be. Um, yeah, I spent way too many hours on it last week, though. I know
Wow.
that much.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I
All
saw the
right.
trailer for it a while back, and I was pretty interested in it.
Yeah,
It
I
looks really
hope to
cool.
make a little video review though on the YouTube as well for this one because it's so great and it's so hard to explain what it actually is and how it actually plays. It's better to show, I think. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
by
but
the way, we're doing video reviews now. Mike's already got one up for Jamestown. He just put up yesterday, I
well,
believe.
that was kind of a video review, but it wasn't really a review. It was mostly just it's. I picked a video up for indie game of the week. It's I'm just kind of showing my favorite indie games every week,
Right.
and Chris will post one, Alan will post one, and
sometimes.
there's a lot of cool indie games. And I just kind of show you what the game's about. It's only the first level, and we
Yeah.
also got some blooper videos of us playing Left 4 Dead 2, where Chris gets
The
punched
amazing
by
flying Chris.
he gets punched by a tank and
Oh
he goes
man.
flying off the building. It was awesome. But
Horrible.
that's up on YouTube right now. You guys should definitely go check it out. Chris, did you want to review anything of anything you've beat recently?
Yeah, I'm a little bit late to the party, but I just recently finished Deus Ex: Human Revolution.
Hmm.
It's I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty late getting into the Deus Ex series. I've been trying to play the first one, but no, something about it I can't really get into it. Maybe after beating this one, I'll be able to play it a little more. But yeah, it's I was pretty impressed, and the story's pretty good, and uh,
Did you get to all three endings?
I did. I beat the game, and
Well,
I saved at the final little choice that you make, and then went back and did all the other ones just to see all the
was
endings.
there three endings or four endings?
There's
I thought there
actually
was like
four
there's
endings.
like
Yeah,
four
there's
or
four
five,
endings. No, there was four endings because there was one that was off the wall that you had to do things correctly.
Yeah.
Right. Well, near the end of the game, you have to find like all the different characters to get their specific ending. Like Seraph wants you to do something specific, and the other dude who you meet in the end of the game, he wants you to do something, and then the politician guy wants you to do something else. Or you can destroy the whole little station that you're on underwater and kill everybody, and then the truth doesn't get out, and you just leave it to everybody else to figure it out.
Yeah,
So that's interesting.
we're trying not to spoil the game too much because there's a lot of people that have not played this game because they
Yeah.
had no idea what it was about, and I'm an old school fan, and it was an amazing game. Alan and me just played the crap out of it when it first came out.
But I had the same problem Chris had with the first one. I don't know what it is about it, but I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
But, I do have something I can safely ask without having spoilers. Okay,
Yeah.
all y'all know I'm a king of spoiling stuff, right? I have one question I can ask. What do you think of the boss battles?
The boss battles, they were pretty difficult.
That's the only blight on that spotless game. I think.
Well, the thing about the boss battles that I found out why I hated them, that's my opinion. I hated the boss battles. I'm sorry. They sucked. Anyways, they were outsourced to another development team
Yeah,
during the
that was
process,
the-
and I was like, go freaking figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
And
wonder they're all
it kind of
weird.
ruins things too a little bit because like
Yeah.
I was trying to go through the game, stealthy, non-violent route, trying not to kill everybody. But even if you use your well, I don't even think you can get enough tranquilizer weapons to even beat a boss.
You can take down a boss with a tranquilizer. Yeah, you can. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think
either
you
way,
also
the
choke
the
out
cutscene
the-
afterward shows them, bleeding all over the
Yeah.
place, and they die anyway. So
It kind of does. Yeah.
it kind of takes you out of the story.
Well, in the
Yeah.
first two, you could go through the whole game stealthy without worrying about it, and you could take out a boss pretty easy like that too. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
but this one they kind of added like an arcade element boss battle, and it kind of just didn't do it for me. But it was still an amazing game.
Yeah,
Really.
it is definitely a great game. It's worth looking into. They put it on sale on Steam pretty cheap, and they do it pretty often actually. So yeah, definitely look into it. It's worth it.
All right, we're kind of running out of time, but we can bring up a couple topics real quick. On Xbox, May 9th, Minecraft is coming out. I may talk about that next show. It's it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna probably talk about that next show. And Chris, they updated Infinity Blade 2, right?
Yes, they added the Clash mobs to Infinity Blade 2. It's pretty cool. It's kind of a big social element
Right.
to it. Like, there's a bunch of different little objectives you can do. Like, there's a boss that has, a billion HP, and you get 30 seconds to do as much damage as you can. And,
Yeah, Yeah, update your game on that one. Maybe Chris can do a video review later on next week.
Yeah.
And then Alan, you wanted to talk a little bit about Old Republic.
Yeah, I was just gonna
1.2.
let everybody know 1.2 is out.
Yeah.
Add Legacy, bunch of fun little extra things you can get onto your account that make your game experience a lot more full, a little easier in some aspects. But the biggest part of Legacy still won't come out to 1.3, and that's all the cool little extra things like having a repair robot follow you around in the field and mobile mailbox and little things like that. But there's a lot of other details that they fixed and changed in there. If you're really interested in all the little nitty gritty, make sure you look up the patch notes on their website.
On oldrepublic.com, Star Wars Old Republic, and that game is fun. Do play it. I'm kind of burned out for a little bit, but it's a very fun game for MMO, especially for like BioWare games.
Right.
But all right, well, you guys, thank you for anybody that was listening to the show today. You can all follow us on our Twitter. Mine's at mbufftes. Chris?
Mine's going to be CStewTES.
And A Gray TES.
All right, we're also on iTunes, so please subscribe to us. We would love to see your input. If you like the show, let us know. Also, we have a public Steam group, and just type in Technical Earth Syndicate on there, and it'll have a TES podcast on there. And you can game with us. We'll play Left 4 Dead. Maybe you can be in some of our videos later on.
Getting punched by the tank.
We can always use a replacement for, AI Zoe. So.
Yeah, worthless.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening, and see you next Friday. As we end this episode, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Emerald Coast Productions, and to our listeners. If you have any rants, comments, suggestions about our new show, please email me at techearthsyndicate@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and please don't text while driving. It may save your life. Until next time, Technical Earth Syndicate.